So let's. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna get ready.
Now wow, people wey suppose talk true to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people wey dey spoil our country.
What I'm doing now is that one sec. What I'm doing now is that I just want to have just a directed chat now without much attachment, and I want to check if the audio is different for us tonight. Okay, then we will take it on further as a free chat, just like as usual. But there won't be much, sharing of video. The quality of the video too, the picture may not be so bright. Okay, it's because I'm using a smaller device, so you can still share with your friends, and we're going to start soon. So give me a sec. So I'm sharing the video, and let me know how it looks from your own side there. The sound, especially. Let's check this. So let me know if the sound is much better from your own end there. So it sounds better from my own end. So maybe we should just manage it. I'm sorry if the picture, the video doesn't really look that sharp. I'm going to fix whatever the problem is with our. That is also necessary that we should put up. So just give me a moment. Yeah. So earlier tonight, I wanted to share with us. Yeah, it's the volume, the sound is going to be quite better now, but the picture may not really be great, especially if you are watching from your TV or you are watching on a bigger screen. Okay, but if the volume is fine from your own end there as well, let's do it. So tonight, I wanted to talk about the latest development, the kidnapped school children. I know. The kidnapped school children by bandits when Buhari is in Daura. Okay. So, and also I wanted to share with you the new development where the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, today launched the Eastern Security Network. So, Eastern Security Network to protect the people of the Eastern Nigeria against any spillover of ravaging terrorists, destroying the northern part of Nigeria now. So, which is also very much in the news. People are saying, oh, is that not going to be a suicide mission? Are they going to be armed? How are they going to be, the weapons, are they going to supply them? So far, we know that the terrorists who are killing people in northern Nigeria, they are well armed and well coordinated, funded as well. And they also seems to be protected by the power that be. So these and many others are raising, questions on there. But I keep saying, a step is taken, which is great, and everybody should be happy. You know what I mean now? Whether you like Nnamdi Kanu or you don't like Nnamdi Kanu, one thing you have to give to him is the fact that he loves his country, and his country, which is Biafra. He loves the Biafra land, and you can tell so much of his dedication that we have known and witnessed so far. and his conviction, which is the greatest, by the way. So it's shown that he is ready, and there are many, many others. I shared a video earlier in my short clip that I shared earlier. So I shared a video where these guys who are ready to protect Biafra land, if they are, if they are indeed supported, and arms are provided for them. So that also will take me back to Daura. You see, what I wanted to share earlier tonight, which the connection, the problem sort of killed the spirit, was pretty much about the swiftness at which the terrorists were able to mobilize and move over 500 human beings when Buhari is in town, right? Needs to be, specially studied, I have to say. Not just that, it took them. I was reading in the news earlier, just a few minutes ago, that the Nigerian army, they are breaking news. They said breaking news. They are, they will soon rescue those students, Abi. So it took them 24 hours to even receive the news until when the news broke yesterday. Meanwhile, these kids were kidnapped 2 days ago, exact day, the same day that Buhari arrived at Daura. Do you get that now? So the kind of resources that must have been at the disposal of these terrorists to be able to enter government school, move 600 people, or, well, 600 people declared missing. Now they are saying, well, it's not 600 people that are missing anymore. We only have 343 people unaccounted for. They don't know if they are still in the bush or if they have been kidnapped. Sarah, thank you, my dear sister. Thanks for managing this with me. This is what we have to use tonight, so thank you. The kind of resources that they must have, to be studied by Nigeria security forces. And that is where people are now saying, Baba, no, they do yourself. The government or the people in government, they know about these guys. It is either there is no any security coverage in the northern part of Nigeria except their major cities, or those security working there are indeed working for the terrorists. Many, many times, right? These guys have put stunts. I'm talking about, imagine, the Chibok girls, when they kidnapped over 200 schoolgirls, right? It was like impossible. People were like, how is that possible? How is that possible? And nobody saw them. Nobody could raise alarm. Abi, then they came back to Dapchi under Bokwari. They kidnapped another 110 or so. People were like, how is that even possible? Especially with the atrocities committed by these terrorists over time. How is that even possible to kidnap over 100 people? You will need at least, more than 10, 15, 18-seater buses. And you must be ready to do bus race as well, because before you load all of them inside the buses, right, and you drive kilometers into the bush, the security should be able to catch up with you and rescue them, Abi. But the way they do it in northern Nigeria, every time they kidnap people, they do it as if to say they just walk in. So yeah, everybody move. They bring in the buses. Nobody feel concerned. The parents don't do anything, and boom, 500 gone. Do you get that now? Royal Treat Forever event. Thank you very much for joining the membership as a good member. Thank you. Like, you'll be wondering, like, how is that even possible? These are the people that will track down anybody who write anything about Buhari on social media. How is it possible that people will just walk in, even if they have guns? Okay? How can they just walk in and kidnap people? At the end of the day, in the next few hours, you are going to probably receive the breaking news. They have rescued the rest of those that you're likely going to find are going to be those they are free to, like to use them as negotiation baits, get some money, and keep the rest. So the parents now came out today, okay, 48 hours after their children were taken. They can't find their children. The villagers, well, the security forces possibly, they are combing everywhere, the bush everywhere, 48 hours after they kidnapped them. Oh. So they are combing everywhere looking for the children. Okay. So 48 hours after that, the parents came out to protest and ask the government to find their children. Please find our children, save us, save us. The normal thing. Do you know what happened? Even though Boko Haram is not saying anything, Abi, the policemen in Nigeria, they started shooting tear gas at them. They dispersed them. You know what I mean now? So you will be wondering, like, though in Nigeria today, if you stage any protest against the government, it is considered as a threat to Buhari. Now you start wondering that Buhari is from Katsina State. Buhari is from Katsina State. He hasn't been to Katsina State for the past 1 year. This is the first time he's going back home in the last 1 year. As we speak, there are people from Katsina State, from Daura, where Buhari comes from, who are now refugees in Cameroon because they are running away from bandits. Now, in that same Katsina State, 500 school children were kidnapped. And that same day, Buhari arrived in Daura. He arrived in Katsina. They used a chopper to fly him from Katsina to Daura. Do you get that now? So, is it that the security who are protecting the president, this is what you should think of, that the security guys, the DSS and all of those, all those thugs protecting the jihadi. Bandits are, they've invaded the villages and they've invaded the schools. And in fact, that same day, they have kidnapped 500 or 600 children. Like, is it possible that there's no news of that at all in Katsina State until yesterday, 24 hours after? Do you get that now? 24 hours after. And when the parents came out today, no one actually heard from Boko Haram so far. The guy is there, and you start wondering that, what if the Nigerian army, or some people are blackmailing Boko Haram or whoever is wearing the mask? Because there are some certain things that if you look at them very, very critically, they don't make any sense. Okay? In Nigeria today, when people get killed or kidnapped, people are now saving money. Imagine you opening a bank account where you have to save money in case if you get kidnapped so that you can pay ransom. They are kidnapping children, raping them. They are forcing so many people. What they have not done is that to come into the city and bomb the city. Do you get that now? So, how come that it becomes so hard and completely impossible to have Buhari sit down like this, and say, this is what we are doing, this is what we are doing, without reading that nonsense they always conjure together for him, Or is it possible that the real Buhari, the main Buhari, the one that campaigned to be president 4 times, he wanted to be president 4 times, that same one that cried in 2011 when he lost again, if that is the same one that is still there, that one seems not to be shy of the, even if it's going to say nonsense, he will still speak to journalists, he will still answer questions. His answers may annoy you. But have you noticed that in the last 3 years or 3.5 years, this current Buhari doesn't want anybody to protest anywhere. He doesn't want you to say anything on social media. They are so paranoid that they believe that any gathering anywhere can lead to the exposure of whatever they are hiding. Because, number one, the Boko Haram that can't change its ministers, no matter what they do. They don't even do anything. They just walk about to be called ministers. Do you get that now? Everybody's just doing whatever they want, okay? And they continue to lie and make up so many other, nonsense to defend their failed government, okay? But at the same time, he is also so afraid to sack the likes of Buratai the butcher. And 500 children were kidnapped. Don't you think, except someone is blackmailing whoever is walking about as Buhari right now, or something terrible something worse is going on? I don't see anywhere in the world, okay, where 500 human beings will go missing, where 110 human beings, they will cut off the heads of one, they will behead 110 human beings. And the president is completely a ghost until another one happened again. Shebi before now, it was 110 farmers that the ISWAP beheaded. Now, 600 children are unaccounted for, but they said they are now 343. 48 hours after that, police IG is giving order to arrest and rescue the children. And on the day they were kidnapped, the president of the country is in that state that day. And there is no news at all to any of his security detail. Or they have the news, but they kept it away because they don't want to, Abi. And some people are not losing, they are not already losing, they've not lost their job, they are still keeping their job. Buratai the butcher is playing golf. They are doing spiritual crusade. All other nonsense associated with Nigerian army now. Why people are now on their own. That to me, personally, I feel like there may be something there. In fact, there is something. Okay? The Nigerian army, they are not on red alert. They are not on any alert for Boko Haram, ISWAP, bandit, or whatever name they give to themselves. Okay? They are only on alert. They are on alert for anybody, any of you, who come together anywhere to ask Buhari to resign, or ask Buhari to sack the service chiefs, or continue to report all the human rights abuses. All of you are considered as enemies, right? People are dying, okay? People are dying, all the resources to stop all the kidnappings. They have the resources, but they are using the resources to chase down anybody asking Buhari to do his job. That is something, okay? The Yorubas, we started Amotekun, which is a very great idea. I told you, I said, I understand the fact that there is this politics around it. And, we may not completely be so clean about the idea behind Amotekun. But one thing there is this. The politicians in the Western Nigeria, Yoruba land, 6 of them, Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State, Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti, this guy in Ondo, Akeredolu, Seyi Makinde. After Oyo State, the states like Oyo State, Ogun State, Ekiti State, Ondo State. You see this, then partly, mostly as well, Osun State. You see these 5 states in Yoruba land. We have been having problems of Fulani terrorists attacking our people on their ways to the farm. Okay, we have been receiving reports of illegal Fulani camps in our forests. Okay, on the last count, we currently have a record of 1,742 or thereabout illegal Fulani camp in Yoruba land. And we have had farms destroyed, farmers attacked, even killed, people kidnapped. Chief Olufalaye was kidnapped. You know Olufalaye, the guy that ran for president against Obasanjo in 1999 under AD. He was kidnapped by Fulani terrorists. The daughter to the leader of Yoruba Afenifere leader, Papa Soranti, his daughter was killed by the same Fulani terrorist in Yoruba land. We have had kings kidnapped in Ondo State and killed. We have had prominent people and normal people in Yoruba land kidnapped. So this now led to Yoruba governors coming together to say, let us form a Southwest, they call it Southwest Security Network or something like that, but popularly known as Amotekun. So the purpose then was that the Yoruba governors, they will put their resources together to recruit and train young Yorubas, sons and daughters, to go into the profession of security, protecting our borders, protecting our main streets if possible, and then at least to stop crime before they happen. That was what brought about Amotekun. But there was a political packaging to it. These Yoruba governors, they didn't just declare to start Amotekun. They put a legislation towards it. So, which means they make laws. But there are states that are not really turning up. States like Lagos State, they have not really done anything about Amotekun. Except for states like Ogun State, they have not done anything about Amotekun, except for the fanfare. States like Osun State, they have not really done much as well. The states like, where else again? We have seen that of Ondo State. We have seen that of Oyo State. Not so much on Ekiti State. But however, Yorubas managed to legislate on security, which gave them the chance. This is a chance that at least people can group in the name of protecting their communities or defending their communities under the identity of Amotekun. Okay? In the eastern part of Nigeria, the eastern governors, in the south part as well, the Niger Delta governors, they have not paid any attention to all of this. They have also been suffering from the same too. Invasion of others in Enugu, Ebonyi, Aba, even on the major street, street that you will never, ever find, you should never find any herdsman. So they have been invaded too. Farms have been invaded. Farms have been destroyed by cows. Farmers have been killed. Women have been raped by these terrorists, right? And in all of this, the Eastern governor seems to be kind of not really keen about protecting their people. Somehow, they have not shown that. Nnamdi Kanu came out to say, you need to protect yourselves. And people said, how do we protect ourselves? We don't have weapons. So many people condemned Nnamdi Kanu when he was warning warning you, warning all of us, that when they finish with the people of Middle Belt, when they finish the same way they finished with the Hausa, then when they finish with all of this, they will continue to drive this agenda of something nobody have a clue about. It is about power. It is about oppression. It is about control. We don't want anybody to share anything with us. If you agree with us on that, then that's fine. There will be no more war. So nobody have a clue. The Boko Haram killing people right now, we don't have a clue why they are killing people other than they said Nigeria. Well, the places they have been killing people, northern Nigeria must be a caliphate. And that caliphate must be a caliphate of the supreme leader, Shekau. The one they are now saying that is crippled. They say Shekau is crippled. Do you get that now? So whatever the agenda is, right? They are invading, they are killing. Nnamdi Kanu said, defend yourselves, or else. They say, okay, how are we going to defend ourselves? If our political leaders are not going to defend us, if they're going to continue to sell us out, or how? And he said, well, we have to protect ourselves by forming a bond of brotherhood on security. How? Intelligence sharing and what do you call it? Providing arms for people who are really going to, they're not going to fight with their bare arms when these terrorists invade. Although the real terrorists invading are not those ones without the uniforms. The real terrorists invading the southern Nigeria are the Nigerian soldiers led by a jihadist, the man that has now been accused under investigation for crimes against humanity, for war crimes, Buratai the Butcher. Nigerian army is still very much under his command, and then whoever is pulling the string inside that asshole rock, okay? So the only terrorists invading the southern Nigeria right now are the Nigerian soldiers, because you are speaking up. When you speak up, you become an enemy. So Nnamdi Kanu said, come together as brotherhood. People said, we are ready to die. Why are we praying for long life when our lives can be cut short any moment from now, either by the trigger-happy Nigerian policemen or the paranoia Nigerian soldiers who is told that an IPOB member is a terrorist, but an ISWAP member with AK-47 is just so a disgruntled someone who is just angry. Do you get that now? And he can repent. So a paranoid soldier looking for anybody holding flag, anybody. When you are ready, I am ready to lead you. And indeed, he proved that today, honestly. Sincerely, I got that, I saw that when that started developing yesterday. And they launched, and you saw the number. I can show you the video. I might need to save some. I don't know, simply because I can't really share them directly now, like we used to do. But they launched a security outfit, which will now be very much responsive. So if you attack anywhere, if any terrorists attack anywhere in the eastern part of Nigeria, or they smell that there are invasion, which they know about anyway, so which they are now managing to push back, okay? So if you find out that they are pushing back terrorists and Nigerian government is going after them, because this is going to trigger them now, believe me, okay? But it is responsive. It is your right to protect yourself when your government can no longer protect you. So if you are a northerner and you have seen the video, if you have seen the video of IPOB leader launching their own, security force. Do you see the number? Very, very massive. And I believe that will shock you. The location is undisclosed, and I like that. But now we know that if you are asking that people who are ready to die for Nnamdi Kanu, if you are asking for those who are ready to die for Biafra, if you are asking for those who are going to fight for the Biafra, they now have the ready-made, and they are getting to recruit more. These are the people who are participating in the opening. Now, this is responsive. So if you are a northerner, okay, you shouldn't be triggered. Rather, you should encourage them to even do better. If you are a Biafran, you should not be jealous. Okay, you shouldn't be jealous of what this is. You should support it. The reason is this: look at Buhari. Buhari is the president of Nigeria. Abi, look at Buratai. Because Buhari is the president, therefore, he can get the best because he controls everything by having the money. Okay? Now, Buhari is the president. And look at what is going on in the northern part of Nigeria today. Okay? So it simply means that being part of that government, enjoying the largesse, while your people die or people get killed, you watch it, you read about it, where your people get kidnapped, slaughtered, or raped, right? You feel shocked, Abi, but you have the power. But because you are feeding from it, you are eating from the table, you are exercising table manner, you rather keep quiet, like Buhari and his gang, because that is what it is. How can you say the Minister of Defense of Nigeria, Minister of Defense of Nigeria is a northerner? Chief of Army Staff in Nigeria is a northerner. Chief of Air Staff of Nigeria is a northerner. President of Nigeria is a northerner. Senate President of Nigeria is a northerner. Can I go on? Chief Justice of Nigeria is a northerner. And 70% of Nigerian army and personnel, the controllers, now, the top rank officials in charge of security in Nigeria right now, DSS, Police IG, and on and on and on, 80% of them are northerners. Then you ask yourself, then who is going to save the North? Who is going to help the North? Who is going to save the North from the North? Because those who are committing this terrorism in northern Nigeria, kidnapping children, sending women, turning women to widows, destroying villages, kidnapping children. These guys are northerners. They are the people who grew up in Kano, Sokoto, Kaduna, Yobe, Taraba, Adamawa, all those places. They are supposed to be northerners. And when they started, more or less like their father, Sultan of Sokoto, Saadatu Abubakar or something, or whatever, he was defending them. They said if Niger Delta militants, if Nigeria could give them amnesty, Nigeria should give amnesty to any Boko Haram that repents. It was a business. At some point, they even nominated Boko Haram to be their negotiator with Nigeria. But when they sensed that that was going to be a political suicide, it won't go down well internationally. They quickly said Boko Haram is not interested. It was PDP that nominated Boko Haram's name. The same lies they were telling you before they seized power, Abi. Now they are in power. They cannot protect themselves. Eastern Nigeria, which some of these Fulani terrorists have also invaded as we speak. The governors are dancing Palongo. They are dancing Atilogo to go and meet Boko Haram, pledging their allegiance here and there. They don't give a damn. They are more interested in 2023. So Nnamdi Kanu to the rescue again. Nnamdi Kanu was the guy. Maazi Nnamdi Kanu. You don't need to like him. Okay? If you are conscious enough, and if you are human enough, although, they have found them. Have they been found? Okay, let's see. They said they are breaking news, though. They said they have found if that's a joke, by the way, Princess Balogun. If that is a joke, please, it is an expensive one. We know they will declare they have found them, Abi. But in another day or two now, the reality will start coming in. We'll begin to give you the the real update. Princess. Okay. I think it's an expensive joke. Princess is going to pay for that. So you are charged, Princess, because we know that it's going to be a script. Okay, they are going to say they have found them, Abi. They are going to say. Meanwhile, they are not looking for 600 anymore. They are now looking for 343. Okay, the number is reducing. There's no rush. Another breaking news of another people kidnapped. Meanwhile, as you and I, as we are here right now, so many families in northern Nigeria right now, they are looking for ransom. Looking for ransom. The children, the people kidnapped on Kaduna-Abuja Expressway, those kidnapped in Borno, I received the news that they kidnapped the groom and the groom's man. They kidnapped them in Borno State and they freed the bride. Somehow, they haven't killed them, but they will collect ransom. Let me tell you something where you will begin to think, where you will begin to agree with people who are telling you that Nigeria is unsavageable. If there's anything like that, okay? Unsavageable means you cannot savage Nigeria. Forget it. It is done for. The damages done by Buhari, you will think it is just to Nigeria. All of you, most of you in southern Nigeria, except those who have been kidnapped, and you have paid ransom. Because some of you, because of shame, some of you, you have heard stories about people you know that got kidnapped by God knows who. At the end of the day, because of shame, because of what happened, some of them got raped in southern Nigeria. Because of shame, they don't want to come out to talk about it, so that people will not say, hey, he was kidnapped, they raped her and all of that. Meanwhile, it's when you share the story that people will begin to believe and take this serious. But I have been receiving reports of people kidnapped here or kidnapped there or paid ransom here, 1 million, 2 million, and the rest of that. So as we speak right now, in the southern Nigeria, you will think, since you have not been kidnapped, well, maybe it is not that bad. Not their problem and all of that, okay? But the truth of the matter is that Buhari, this destruction that Buhari has brought upon Nigeria, APC, Egbekegbe, in the last 5 years, and in the remaining 2.5 years, Baba, for 100 years, Nigeria will never recover. They attack you, attack your own economy. You know, when they talk about economy, now they go school, now you won't go school, become graduate, so that you can become the best and find the best job, and then you can live a better life, and not those lies they told you. And many lies they are telling many of your people now. Many of the children you have in Nigeria, in the university, telling them, study hard, study very hard. You know that even if they study harder, now they go get. You know it. I know it. They know it. So in northern Nigeria, when they manage to put up any Jankara certificate, by quota system, by the law of gravity, wherever you read for school, you can go to the moon. Now your own problem with that. Okay? Abubakar is more important than you, and very importanter. Okay? But when they need someone to speak grammar, to speak eloquently, to sound so intelligent, someone from Harvard, to come and do Maradona, to dribble people with economic jargons, okay? With economic nonsense, okay? With the security jargons, and including Fashola, Bantueyo. You know, when they need people to come and speak grammar, they will come to the south. They will look for all of you who are looking forward to, Oshibajo is your role model. Fashola is your role model. Which other one? All of these other criminals who can speak grammar, who can speak good, great English. When they need them, they put them up there as a charge. So, but when you finally graduate, you enter the Nigeria market. Abi, when you enter Nigeria labor market, reality enter, you say, oh boy, CO2, no fit buy garri o. Or what do you call it? Almighty formula. 22, what do you call it? Pi is 22/7 raised to power 13. Find X. All of that will not pay your rent in reality. Reality can't enter. When you enter, you realize that Abubakar, that can barely say a sentence, a complete sentence without wahala, is your director of blah, blah, blah in the ministry of blah, 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 one Nigeria. So, apart from that damages they have done to you, forget that. You see the damages, Buhari, the damages is done to the northern Nigeria. If you know it, you will join those who are going to who are campaigning to break up Nigeria. You will be at the front saying, because you know what? Nigeria is a mystery. Nigeria is where sometimes when you don't get something you have to, so what do I even mean by sometimes? Before you can get anything in Nigeria, even if you deserve it, you must suffer for it. It's like it's a tradition. They believe that you need to suffer for something. You need to suffer. If you work 30 days a month to collect your salary, if you have been collecting it, people believe that you are lucky. They are paying your salary before the end of the month. You are so lucky. You should be thanking God. Me, my salary now, second week of the next month, then they pay me. Now the next, you know what I mean? Like, and they'll say, well, they pay you, Abi. No, thank God that they are paying you. You see Amaka, for her own office, every day, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 30,000 naira. Our boss, she won't even pay 2 months, 3 months, or sometimes. But there's no job. That's what Amaka is managing. You say, hey, do you know what? Good news. They say, what is the good news? My Oga says she's going to pay 5 months from my 7 month salary. Hey, she's going to, God will bless her. Oh, hey, she's finally going to pay you. Hey, now she says she's going to pay me. I say, hey, thank God, oh, I told you to pray. Pray. When you pray, God will touch her heart. You know what I mean? God will touch her heart and she will pay you. It is like genetic. You know what I mean now? Like you have to suffer to get anything in Nigeria. So while you are struggling for something you deserve, they are using it to beg them over there. She na trader money. Come and go open an account. Come and collect. She na COVID lockdown money. Go and open an account. Come and collect money. Oh, support a business idea money. Go and open an account. Come and collect the money. So Nigeria is a mystery land where you have to suffer before you get anything. I'm going to try my best to break them down a bit, okay? The calamity they have created in 5 years alone, the rest of Nigeria will share in that mystery, in that unfortunate existence. You have to share, yes, because they are Nigeria. So, the way they build Nigeria is that since they don't build Nigeria for joy, there's no joy, okay? So it's just about misery, death, wailing, crying, you know what I mean, suffering. So that every little thing you get, you have to be so grateful. So grateful to God. Say, you see, have you got the admission? I got the admission. Oh, hey, my sister, I got the admission. Oh, I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful. Why are you grateful? Didn't you read? Baba, forget it. Even if you read in Nigeria, they can just throw your name away. They will just bring some name, people who didn't sit for the exam, and those are the people that will get admission. Do you get that? It is psychological. You know? But you read now, you should know that you will pass, you smash it. I will say, Baba, you can't trust it like that. You have to pray. You have to pray hard. When you retire, they will say among the prayer point too, when you retire, when they are doing prayer point for you, they will say, Father Lord, as you are retiring today, may God Almighty not let anybody deny you your pension. We pray to God Almighty that they will pay your pension. You begin to say, why should you pray to God for them to pay my pension? What do you mean by praying to God? It's my pension. I've retired. I should get my pension. What do you mean by that I should pray? In Nigeria, they will steal it. They will steal your pension. And you just die. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that the calamity, the destruction that you are reading about from northern Nigeria, where they are fighting over religion too. They will say, you cannot insult you are insulting our Allah. How come you can't know Allah law more than Allah? How come you are so powerful than Allah? That Allah cannot defend himself. How come you become Attorney General for heaven or hellfire? How come you become the special legal advisor to Allah? So that you will be the one that on this earth, to this same world where we deal. You are angry because someone says something about your religion. Someone did something that is insulting to your religion, and they must be killed because that is it. That is it. I said, why? Baba, calm down. Calm down. Which level now? Which section of Allah law say you must kill anybody that you think is guilty of insulting Allah? And you are not angry. They are terrorists that are kidnapping women. They say, that girl is dressed in a provocative way. We can see her boobs, we can see her ass. Look at how she's rolling it. That is haram. Say, Baba, calm down. Nigeria problem no reach you. Are you trying to pretend that? Are you trying to disguise that the problem around you, the kidnapping of women, the raping of women by kidnappers, paying the ransom to bandits, are you saying all those ones are not really bothering you? That you can get killed anytime? But the way someone dressed is making you go angry to the point that you are ready to kill people. Waiting. But I'm just trying to tell you that the reason why all this doesn't really matter, they don't really matter to them, is because of the calamity and the destruction that their political leaders, past and present, what they have done to their psyche, the destruction they have done to them using religion. Okay? So, remaining part of Nigeria mean that we, the Yorubas, who have no choice or any right, okay, to tell any Fulani, Artsman, or any terrorist any of them disguising, entering Yoruba land. We will not have any authority anywhere to stop them, okay? Or if when they commit any crime, we will have no authority anywhere, okay? When you see terrorists up north, who come down to the south all the time because they are Nigerians. On my program, we were alerted of many of them who are now being given international passports. Do you know, some of you don't have an idea what this is all about altogether. Okay? Northerners themselves, they don't have the total clue. Even though they can sometimes come out to say, we are our own problem. We are the one who is supporting our bad leaders, blah, blah, blah. One or two of them. But the orientation is still the same. Okay? The orientation is that the northern Nigeria is a terrorist region in Africa. If northern Nigeria was to be a country, northern Nigeria would be a terror-prone country. You know what I'm talking about? Where terrorists are becoming presidents, then they will overthrow themselves. If you look at all the coup from 1966, right? All the coup in Nigeria, all the coup, they are planned by northerners, okay? All the coup to overthrow governments, either to overthrow a coup or to bring Nigeria to what it is now. All the coup that happened in Nigeria, right, were all carried out by northerners, not southerners, though with southern collaborators, okay? because I think that's the ideal way to put it. Southern collaborators. But when you look at the brains behind all the coups in Nigeria, they are Northerners, all of them. Okay, and that would have been the case because that is what countries where people believe in power of guns instead of power of words, conversation, negotiation, discussion, disagreement. You disagree, you agree. Do you get that now? I know some of you may never have thought about this, or maybe probably never really ever have thought about it this much, okay? But think about it. If Northern Nigeria was to be an African country on its own, Western Nigeria today, which is Yoruba land, will probably be the most stable, the most stable region or stable country, one of these stable countries in West Africa. Same with the Biafra land. Northern Nigeria will probably be practicing a parliamentary system of government whereby any party with the majority vote will form the government. And if you lose the vote of confidence in the parliament, they just change the government again and another election is held instead of using guns. So Northern Nigeria would have been a place where guns, you know what I mean? Because they don't discuss. They don't know what to discuss. What are they going to be discussing? When they can settle it with guns. Just pull out the gun and order everybody to obey you. And whoever fail to obey you, shoot them and kill them. That's so easy. And it is exactly the way these guys have been ruling. And when they feel like they are losing out on anything, they stage another coup. Do you get that now? So, being part of Nigeria, I mean, if you continue to be part of Nigeria, means that we have to continue to share in that misery. Okay? So, every time they feel like they are losing out, what they need to do is that they can just stage a rebellion like what they started with Boko Haram. They started it. Okay? They started it. The founder of Boko Haram was a political appointee of Alimodi Sheriff, the guy that is likely to become APC chairman. He was a PDP caretaker chairman once upon a time. Remember? Alimodi Sheriff. Exactly. So Alimodi Sheriff, who appointed Mohammed Yusuf as a youth, special advisor on youth and religious development when he was in power. And when they killed Mohammed Yusuf, the guy who started the Jalamiyat something group, okay? It is a political group. They are meant to be political thugs working for the political aspiration of Alimodi Sheriff. So what happened? They put the guy up on a trump-up charges, and they killed him. Nigerian police killed him in their custody. The aftermath of that was that the other political guys, because it's like what you have in southern Nigeria, where cultists are working for politicians. You see them in PDP. You see them in APC. What do you think they do for them? They get immunity to commit crime. They kill themselves too, simply because they have access to weapons to do all of that in southern Nigeria. So in northern Nigeria, these guys use religion, cult followership, okay? So they use religion, teach them teachings and all of that training, brainwashing. And politician is funding them, giving them money, okay? And then one of the politicians became governor, and he gave appointment to their leader. And it grew wider. Same way, Buhari gave appointment to Isa Pantami, the guy who is now professor. They say he's a professor. He studied Quranic this, and he went on to study other things about jihadists. There are many in northern Nigeria. Let me be honest with you. There are many. So they work under under the cover of going for international exchange to countries like Iran, to Saudi Arabia, to other Islamic countries to get teachings from some radical Islamic scholars in those countries. Okay? So when they come back to Nigeria, they work with politicians. They get their people who listen to them like pastors, right? Who they preach to them. They tell them about different things, make up different lies about, 72 virgins. If you do this, leaders are this and that, using their religion to brainwash them. But they work for politicians, okay? So what happened thereafter is that when they need people to use to disrupt election, to mobilize people from other places, okay, to do all of that. Those imam, those sheikh, they now go back to their students, those people they have recruited, okay? So they now tell them on the day of election, this is where you have to vote. And you have to go to these places where we can't get control. You will go there and you will attack the people there and disrupt the election. There must not be any election there, okay? So this is how it works. Do you understand now? So instead of using cultists, like politicians do in southern Nigeria, they use religious sects. So they now use these religious leaders, they use them as the recruiting cell for act of terrorism. Do you get that now? So what happened next? So on the day, they use them for elections, they use them for anything that needs to show numbers or control, or to show that some certain politicians are so powerful and they can win elections and on like that, okay? So they use them for that. So Mohammed Yusuf was, if Bokwari government, if they arrest Issa Pantami tomorrow and the police kill him, do you think there are no other people who are seeing Issa Pantami as a great leader? In fact, a great leader who also became a minister in Nigeria. Do you think they don't remember what he teaches them in different mosques they build for themselves? So when you go abroad, when they go to all these Arabian countries, right? When they go there under different radical Islamic scholars, yeah, they also get fundings too. All they need to do is to go back to Nigeria, build a mosque, and they will be receiving funding from those places, because they have to show them that they have people in Nigeria who are listening to them. They have young people that they are teaching the way of Allah, the way of Muhammad. And they are not ways of Allah, ways of Muhammad in true essence of it. They have been manipulated. So when they have this army of poorly miseducated people, young people, young children, okay? And you know that Alimajiri system in the north, which they told you is their culture. It's not their culture. It is the recruitment culture. So when you just go and born, if you can't take care of the children, go and give them to an imam. So the imam will be the one who will then be teaching them about life. And what would he teach them? He teaches them about what he wants them to become later, so that he can control them and tell them how to live. So tell me, millions of children, as we speak right now, 13.5 of them are out of school children in northern Nigeria, 13.5 million of them. So where do you think those 13.5 million are going to end? They are going to end in the hands of all these sheikh, imam, all these cleric, imam, sheikh, and all of them. Not because they want to give them any reasonable life. They will begin to indoctrinize them. They will begin to recruit them so that when they build their mind up to enough to commit terrorism, right, they can unleash them for any political agenda that they have. It's as simple as that. So when they kill when they killed 13.5 million children out of school are potential 13.5 million terrorists. So if you say you want to be one Nigeria, in the next 10 years, these 13.5 million children, in the next 10 years, by the time they ended up in the hands of all these clerics recruiting them, so then you will realize what I'm talking about. So that you will realize that northern Nigeria in 10 years would have become dust, that they would have killed enough that we in the south will be the one witnessing what they are witnessing now. Because our own will just be like beginning, okay? 13.5 million. And there is no plan. Now, watch this. There is no plan that they are going to reduce the number of those children who are on the streets in northern Nigeria right now. There is no plan, okay? More children are going to end up on that street. And when they tell you about Alimajiri is just a recruitment culture, terrorist recruitment culture. Do you get that now? So anytime, any day that they needed anyone to lead anything, any war against any region of Nigeria, they have the soldiers. That is why they need to continue to control all the resources in Nigeria, the military, all the political levelers in Nigeria. They need to continue to do that. This is not a myth. All right. So at the end of the day, you may get a Southern Stooge. They may give you a Southern Stooge to be their what do you call it, to be their next president, that will not spare you. Now, think about that. Think about that. I know some of you will say, oh, we need to deport all of them. You have no idea the mess you are in yet. That is why, with the orientation, that people need to know the danger they are in, so that when they stop giving power to the criminals from the southern Nigeria called politicians, when people understand that these politicians have no, you know what I mean, they have no idea of what is coming or the consequences of what is coming with Nigeria, with northern Nigeria, with what Boko Haram has done so far. When you begin to detach mind of the people from southern Nigeria by letting them know the danger they are in 10 years' time, it will make sense. But by then, we will have to use the human casualties as evidence to say, does this make sense to you now? So the danger there is this. They have no plan to reduce this level of recruitment. If Boko Haram should arrest him and police kill him the same way they killed the leader of Boko Haram, there is possibility that 2 or more terrorist groups will rise up in northern Nigeria to avenge his death. That was how Boko Haram became Boko Haram. Okay? 10 years ago. 2010, to be precise. And they put this up. When Goodluck Jonathan became the substantive president of Nigeria after the death of Yaradua. That was when Boko Haram just became a bigger thing. Boko Haram are no longer, they were no longer operating in Borno. If you understand this, the Boko Haram of 2010 to 2014 and 2015, they were not just they were not really operating in the communities. They were bombing city, bombing United Nations building, bombing everywhere, bombing mosque, bombing, you know what I mean? Because the agenda then was very much about grabbing the power. It was war. But do you realize that when Boko Haram become your president, the mode of operation has changed? In fact, Boko Haram, they have now diversified. When fake Pastor Ruga or Shubade was telling you that they were diversifying Nigeria economy. They were not telling you then that they were diversifying the economy of Boko Haram. This is what happened. And this seems to be a very genuine argument. Do you know, or you do remember, that before Boko Haram become your president, there was no bandit, there were no Fulani terrorists, there was no Miyetti Alao, there were no, what else? Give me name, Iswapo, Only Boko Haram of Alhaji Shekau, Commander-in-Chief. African Wahala, thank you so much for your super sticker. I'm sorry I can't share that because, I'm not using the regular tool tonight. So we are just managing because I want you to hear my voice before you go to bed. We can't carry this over until I fix the problem. But thank you. I'm going to read your super chat. For those of you that grew up in the north, we knew that the northern youth narrative there. So SW and MW radio frequency were being indoctrinated using religion. Exactly. So using this recruiting children for terrorism is not just through the clerics. They also have different, they have different media platforms in northern Nigeria where they also send voice messages every now and then through radio, transistor radios to people on what will happen. To the point that, right, in northern Nigeria, people do get decoded warning that there will be an attack in a village on a particular day and date. And there's also people are going to be targeted in northern Nigeria. Like, people do know that. They do receive all sorts of messages. Do you know that? It is so bad that me as a southerner, I can sit down here and say, na them problem, na their own wahala. But you see those trailers, you see those big 16 tire, do you have up to 32 tire trailers here in Nigeria? Bringing cow, tomato, bringing things, crossing border, coming down. Some of them, they are not coming with anything. They are coming with human cargo. Human cargo. These are people that have no identity. These are people you can't trace. These are people that if they commit any crime in southern Nigeria, they are gone. You will never find them. But guess what? You and me, here we are. We can sit down and say, na northern people wahala. And when I look at the data, I'm like, Namdegano, wherever you are, Mazi, wherever the plan is, please don't just don't just put these guys on the alert to defend themselves. We want them to prove that indeed, right, they are ready to defend the weak in Biafra land. As for my own people in Yoruba land, you see, our own no too hard. You see, our own problem is that if we no see, we know they believe. And I understand. They say seeing is believing. But at the same time, we have so many intelligent, very intelligent, population that are ready. If we are not ready, united, Baba, 1,742 illegal Fulani terrorist camp in Yoruba land. I would be too dumb to doubt that if I was you, honestly. The way they coordinate is this. Whenever they are attacking villages, the likes of the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, the Nigerian Police, and all the DSS, and everyone that should know about crime before they happen, when these guys are operating, you will not find any one of them, including the Commissioner of Police. But, but you post it on social media that we are going to start a mass protest from Ojota tomorrow. And that comment, that post, you have mistakenly like 500 to 1,000 shares and comments. By 7 a.m. tomorrow, by 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, you will see the Nigerian police, you will see the Nigerian DSS, you will see everybody at Ojota with ready to kill anybody, even if you no show up. Then you ask yourself, hey, are the Nigerian security forces put together and now working to protect those who are protecting terrorists in Nigeria? Because how can terrorists enter a place they are shooting? You know how news fly, Abi? When you sit down for Lagos now, if there is any armed robbery case going on, operation going on let me use this motorway, Shagamu, let's say Shagamu or Bini Expressway. Do you know that if that lasts longer than an hour, people will begin to talk about it, that there is armed robbery, there's an armed robbery operation going on, please, if you are traveling through Benin or a road, please slow down, there are armed robbers on the road now operating, So are you saying that there are nobody to call anybody, including the parent of the children, to say, hey, Boko Haram have started operating, Nigeria military, Nigeria DSS, Nigeria this, Nigeria that, But one thing I observe is that or Nigerian security forces or force, whatever they call themselves, these guys, if you are holding a gun, they don't want to know what type of gun. They think twice before they come down for you. Now, if you are holding guns and you call yourselves Boko Haram, or you call yourself Islamic State of West Africa province, or you call yourself a bandit and anything, they will think twice before they come for you. Okay? But if they should hear anything like you are going out to pro what? It's like there is a different adrenaline in them that they jump out and shoot at people who have nothing to defend themselves. But when they see the terrorists, they just melt away. I have witnessed where policemen were running away from armed robbers. That was way back in Lagos in the 90s. In Lagos in the 90s, in the Ilupeju. For some of you who probably grew up around the Ilupeju, you will know Association Avenue in Ilupeju, Association Avenue, traffic light, Obanikoro, Pangrove, or Anthony, all those areas where we have constant and regular armed robbery cases, especially the Association Avenue going to Obanikoro. My old man street is just the street next to it, Olorunfunmi Street. He owns the street. Well, they named the street after him. I have witnessed police officers throwing gun away, running away, because armed robbers are shooting guns just at the supermarket in the next street. So I have seen videos where Nigerian soldiers, they drop their guns. When Boko Haram attack a barrack, they drop guns, they started running away. Peak race. Boko Haram caught some of them. Killed many of them. You remember at that time? That was under Jonathan anyway. But they have repeated it under Boko Haram. It's just that nobody is so bold enough to do it, to come out and talk about it. So I have seen them run away. But when you see them fully kitted, going after armless people who have no power, no gun, no nothing, people who are holding placards, who are holding flags, you see them like a ninja. You are shooting people who are harmless simply because someone told you to shoot them. But when you see terrorists, you run away. Or when they kill your brother, when terrorists kill your brother, you come social media asking us to cry with you. But when they ask you to go and shoot harmless people, you just have to go and do it. They say, I don't get choice. I don't get choice. It's the job. What is the job? 600 children, 343 unaccounted for. 343 children. Leah Sharibu was kidnapped. They sold her as a slave to a Boko Haram leader. And then they gave us the news that she's dead. Then they came back, they said, no, she's not dead. In fact, she just delivered a baby. We saw pictures of her with a baby. Is that true? Leah Sharibu, a young girl that went to school in Dabchi, in Yobe State, got kidnapped. And the government of Nigeria paid ransom to release all the kidnapped children, school children, except Leah Sharibu. And they have been playing hide and seek since then. They don't even care anymore. Only for us to hear that Leah Sharibu is now pregnant, or she's pregnant, she's now had a baby. For terrorists. There are many, we see, let me tell you something there. You see all those terrorists there? There are women in their thousands that they have kidnapped, who are now serving as their RMs. They are serving as their, as their bed warmers. They are raping those girls. Children kidnapped from ages of 12, 13, living with terrorists. They are being raped every now and then, and not a single time with any religious leader in northern Nigeria, with any of their, even their emirs and their sultans, come out and say Buhari should resign. It can't protect them. Even if they want to continue, let's even say they want to continue to control their Nigeria, which they don't, they will soon lose the grip of anyway. Let's say they want to continue to control their Nigeria. Shouldn't they be protecting their people? Ask yourself, should the people not be protected? Are they not in that position because the people said their people put them there, be? But nobody can tell Buhari to resign. Sultan of Sokoto, listen, Sultan of Sokoto, Emir of Kano, and all those other fun parading themselves as northern leaders, religious leaders. We respect our leaders, bunch of clowns. All those clowns parading themselves as their leader, including Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, can they not tell Buhari to sack all those service chiefs for the sake of the North? Can they not tell Buhari to resign? But they can't. That is why we are saying none of them can even go and talk to Buhari to do anything, because the military in Nigeria is protecting whoever is in Aso Rock. Shouldn't they be asking that if the Buhari in Aso Rock or the Buhari in Daura right now, that Buhari in Daura right now, if it is the real Buhari, how is he feeling? Genuinely. Separation will stop terrorism. Kelly, I'm sorry that I didn't pick your comment earlier, so I didn't know that was a question. I finally got it. So, since separation will not stop terrorism, you must answer my. Well, maybe that is not for me, by the way. But anyone who tells you that separation will not stop terrorism, I have no clue. Okay? As we speak right now, Boko Haram is the only person in Nigeria that can order the military to protect anybody in Nigeria. Thank you very much, Kelly. I think I've catched up there. Right, it's not for me. Thank you. So, and I'm backing you up now with this. I'm going to add. Anybody who tells you that separation will not stop terrorism, they don't know what they are talking about. Okay. Terrorism can happen if you have some external factor who are indeed coming in to commit this crime. In the case of northern Nigeria, there are so many factors that will tell you that their system recruits terrorism. They breed them. Do you see how they wish people get killed simply because of the way they dress? Do you see how they use social media to threaten and intimidate and order the killing of people simply because they disagree politically with people they know? Have you read most of those things, most of those views? They are views of terrorists. Some of them are just, they are yet, most of them on social media that you know. And even on ground, offline, they are worse with such mentality. Once you say something, because they are raised to believe that, okay? An average northerner is not raised to condemn the leaders openly, okay? So if you come out to come so hard, an average northerner is raised to ask that you should be killed for that insult. They can say, because he's going to view it from his own religious lens. He's going to say, religious-wise, you have blasphemed. So they use the word blasphemy. So blasphemy means that if you violate something, they can just say you should be killed. So that view, that religious view, is what they put on everything. Do you get that now? So people who have that mentality and they raise population, millions of people to believe like that. And they also make them realize that if they kill people in the name of that belief, they are not guilty. Do you get that now? If they kill you because of that belief, that their religion's violation, that blasphemy, they are not guilty. And Nigeria law says they are guilty. But they will tell you, an average northerner will tell you, that you don't believe in that your Nigerian law. They believe more in that Sharia law. Even though that Sharia law only protects the criminal leaders that they are listening to. The Sharia law is only for the poor. Do you get that now? So when you have a community who have been building generation, raising generation of people like that, right? The potential for, and they don't have the ability to communicate, to discuss. When they are upset, when they are angry about something, they don't have the ability to discuss that with you. They don't, and then they will view you from your gender and from your religious background. So this has nothing to do with anything else other than indoctrination. It is deliberate. It is the system. So now this is the system that they now forced on the rest of the country. Okay, two laws for one country, one law for a particular part of the country, the other law for another part of the country. So if you separate, it will be easier for them to practice Sharia law. So if Sharia law says if you kill in the name of religion, you are not guilty. Then if Boko Haram or any other terrorists are killing them in the name of Allah, if their law says they are not guilty, the rest of the country, who are made to believe that there is, if terrorists goes into a school and they abduct children and they killed people, if they are arrested, there should be a law that says they should automatically be executed. Okay, that means once they are arrested and found guilty, they should face the law. And once they are found guilty, they should be executed. Death sentence, right? If you have that law, but let's say that is Nigeria law. And this terrorist now goes into a school or kidnaps someone and they get arrested and you are waiting for them to appear in court so that they can face the justice, Abi. But they never appear in court. And you start asking yourself, which arrangement is this? They say, no, there's another arrangement. And that arrangement is that any terrorist that repents, any terrorist that kill in the name of Allah, and he comes back to repent, we will forgive them and we rehabilitate them. But that is not Nigerian law. They say, yes, it's not Nigerian law, but it's a different one. It's a different arrangement. So if they come back to tell you that it's a Sharia law, so would you now want to know that, okay, wait. So if I kill anybody in the name of Sharia, if I kill anybody now and I get arrested, I can say I did it in the name of Sharia law. Would I be spared? That is where the confusion is. Do you get that now? So, but if you have a southern Nigeria, where people know that if you kill anybody, whether in the name of Jesus Christ or in the name of Allah or in the name of anybody, if you kill anybody, they go kill you. So then some group of people goes to a place and kidnap someone and they kill someone. Okay? And the next thing, they appear in court. The court says you have committed terrorism and therefore you are going to die by firing squad. That is the law. So to you, living in such country, you know that there is no powerful person that is going to say is forgiving terrorists. It's not possible. Do you understand that now? So if anybody tells you that breaking up of Nigeria will not end terrorism, they probably don't really know what they are talking about. And we can forgive them if they genuinely probably doesn't know what they are talking about. But think about what I said. So if and to be honest, no single country in the world that forgives and pardon terrorists. No single country. Can you believe that? Only in Nigeria that they pardon terrorists. So, and the name Nigeria, it means that if you are a Nigerian, it means that your country pardons terrorists. So there's nothing like saying, okay, I'm a Nigerian. We don't need to break up. Do you get that now? I'm a Nigerian. What you are saying is that your country pardon terrorists that doesn't even face any charges. Even though they are still killing people. But they get pardoned anyway. That's what you are admitting to whenever you say you are a Nigerian. Do you get what I'm talking about now? So in this case, Boko Haram's government have no plan to prosecute any terrorist. Since they don't have any plan, very soon the terrorism will spread completely to all of us in the south. We are already there. I'm just telling you that you may not be feeling it too much now because they haven't really kidnapped anybody from that you know. Okay, but we are going to get there too as Yorubas. In the eastern part of the country, in Biafra land, that Nnamdi Kanu has reacted to, right? Yeah, it means now that even though they may not publicly show force, the eastern politicians, even if they don't like Nnamdi Kanu, if they love Igbo land, they will currently support Nnamdi Kanu. Quickly make a law, like the Yorubas did. Quickly make a law and legalize the Eastern Security Network set up by Nnamdi Kanu. Arm them, give them guns. Let them work as a reserve for in case city, because Buhari is not going to be there forever, I know that. But you see the criminals who are controlling the hand of the hand of the puppet, the puppeteer, the one pulling the string, which make Buhari a ghost today. They may pull a string as well to force themselves to continue to be your, to choose who will continue to be your president, Abi, in Nigeria. And if they have Borono, everybody will just be like Taraba. Everybody will be like Niger. Niger Republic. Buhari is in Niger Republic now. Do you get that now? So instead of them hating Nnamdi Kanu, I'm talking about the Eastern politicians now. Instead of them finding ways to kill Nnamdi Kanu, they should use this brilliant idea because it is the future to come. Let me be honest with all of you. It is the future to come. That is why I will never condemn Amotekun. I understand the politics behind it. I understand the lackadaisical attitude of those politicians in Western Nigeria. I understand how they are trying to manipulate, undermine the security of Yoruba land in order to satisfy the criminals in Abuja. I know that. But the fact that they have managed to set up a law in some states in Yoruba land that allows us to recruit Yorubas to stand up as soldiers of Yoruba land whenever we will need them. That law alone will say if Nigeria tomorrow decide to start shooting our soldiers when they start attacking our villages, if Nigerian army and Nigerian police start arresting Amotekun, we will know that it is because Nigerian government, they sponsor terrorism and they just want to destroy Yoruba land. But we will not just take it. It's not going to work that way. So that's why I'm happy. I am very happy with Amotekun. Whatever game they are playing with it right now, may them continue. But by law, Amotekun is legal. The Eastern governors, they should play all this attention seeking, all this we are bigger. Yes, Nigeria is paying your bill, okay? Nigeria, you are collecting budget, you are writing budget, you are collecting loan in the name of, you are collecting them in the name of Igbo people, under Nigeria in your project, fine. But for you to still have those places to be called Igbo land, you should embrace the idea Nnamdi Kanu just raised now. I'm not expecting them to, but let it be on record that Nnamdi Kanu, many of them are fighting who is going to be the favorite of the sugar daddy, Bokwari, for 2023. Why they are fighting to outdo one another, why they are doing everything to outrun one another towards 2023 and how much money they are going to make. Nnamdi Kanu and the leaders of IPOB, they came with a wonderful idea that encouraged young and brilliant, vibrant, strong, intelligent Igbo sons and daughters. They managed to raise them. They raised an army for Igbo land, the army that needed support of those who are parading themselves as leaders of Igbo land. If they cannot do that, if their own agenda right now is to see how to destroy Nnamdi Kanu and the Eastern Eastern Security Network, ENN, let me use the word ENN then, right? If their agenda is to shut them down, if their agenda is to begin to arrest people, if the agenda of the likes of Wike and Co. is to subdue and then crush the IPOB and those who are going to stand up for the for the defense of the Igbo people, the Biafrans, in the next the days, weeks, months, and years ahead. If they try to sabotage them, but what will happen then is that many of them are going to become victims too. Okay. Many of them parading themselves as leaders of Igbo land, they are going to become victims because they won't be in power forever. They will not be protected by the Nigerian army, Nigerian police forever as well. Power will change and things will change again. People will continue to be killed. And by then, they will not have all the power they have now. If they cannot come together, set up, and at least support them. I don't know how that is going to work out. But I think it is something that is worth a try. But I'm not expecting or raising my hope. Do you get that now? I am not raising my hope on them. Back to the people of the North. Well, if you are still watching me from the Eastern Security Network, ESN, thank you so much for that. Especially we the Yorubas, okay? Someone said the recruitment into Amotekun is not so clear. I understand. That's why I said all the games they are playing. Have you seen any Amotekun in Lagos? Have you seen any Amotekun anywhere in Lagos? If you see any Amotekun in Lagos, it will start searching cars and collecting money like Loma, Lasma, Demma, and all those funny names on your streets. Okay. So have you seen Amotekun in Lagos? Meanwhile, Lagos is part of those who decided to pass a Amotekun bill. Abi? Have you seen Amotekun in Ogun State as we speak? These are two guys who are loyal. The one in Ogun State is loyal to Oshibajo, the Kene Shatabando. The one in Lagos, Sanwo-Igbo, is loyal to Bodilon tax collector, Tifnumbu. So they dare not just go ahead and say they want to protect Yoruba land just like that. How is that going to work? Look at them in the northern Nigeria. They have everything. They were supposed to have everything. Abi, you as a northerner watching me right now, tell me, be honest to yourself. At least be honest for once. Is this what you bargained for when Bokwari cried in 2011? And you did everything within your power to bring Buhari in. Now you can't see him. He don't ghost you. Today we are talking about, a few days ago we are talking about 110 farmers beheaded by terrorists. They said they wanted to send a message. Can't they text Buhari? ISWAP, Islamic State of West Africa Province. They beheaded 110 human beings. They said they are sending warning, sending message. Can't they post it on social media? Can't they just say, we are warning you? Can't they text Buhari? Buhari, tell the people of this place that they should stop giving you or spying on us. They have to cut short the lives of 110 human beings just because they want to send a message to Buhari that your people are spying on us. And whenever they are caught, they are going to be freed. Why is it that the people are not on the streets in northern Nigeria? Because they will shoot them. Some of you in southern and the rest of that. But let me tell you something, if they burn them down, burn them well, make them come out too. They don't hijack the whole thing, the whole place, they've taken over Nigeria from you guys. If you don't have a clue yet. Let me tell you what happened there. It is either the military in Nigeria are the ones where, giving the weapons to terrorists, okay? What am I even saying? They are the ones giving the weapons to terrorists, okay? They have been unable to stop the supply of weapons to terrorists for the past 5 years. So definitely they are the supplier. Nigerian government, Nigeria military, they are the supplier of weapons to terrorists in Nigeria. Because every time the terrorists are operating, wherever they are operating, the people there, they are just on their own, OYO, on your own. So the terrorists can operate for 4 hours, 5 hours, they can kidnap 200, 100 people, nobody will stop them. So that also very much will, in fact, lay credence to the fact, to that statement that the Nigerian government is also giving intel, sponsorship to terrorists. Okay? So now the president cannot sack the service chiefs. He cannot sack the military. He cannot do anything. He just is there, and he cannot talk to anybody. Okay? Emir of Kano, Sultan of Sokoto, they cannot ask him to please change these security guys, protect us. They can't. When people protest that they are not safe, Buhari should protect them. The Nigerian military will send soldiers to shoot and kill them, and Buhari will not say anything. So that now brings us to the conclusion that maybe there is no Buhari. Maybe there is no Buhari. And whoever is wearing the mask of Buhari inside that Aso Rock, and the people who put him there, I'm talking about, if Abba Kyari was alive now, we will say, okay, Abba Kyari, he don't do. Oh yeah, tell us where Buhari dey. Abi? But Abba Kyari don't go. He no day again. Now, these guys controlling. We heard about Issa Funtua. Issa Funtua left Nigeria. Issa Funtua died. Then they said that Issa Funtua left Nigeria. Mama Daura controlling Buhari. Mama Daura, they say, okay, Issa Funtua died. Mama Daura, they say, now you they control Buhari. Can you please tell him to at least protect the northern people that have been kidnapped and killed? Mama Daura say, well, he can't talk to Buhari. And all of a sudden, Mama Daura disappeared and is now living in London. And meanwhile, when Buhari was critically sick, you remember when he was so sick that he was in London receiving treatment, Mama Daura, Abba Kyari, They were those who stopped Aisha Buhari from coming to London to be with Buhari. Now, the Kaaba everybody is talking about. I think the military has become the Kaaba. The military is now saying, well, you know what? Maybe Buhari is dead. Okay? Or Buhari is now a vegetable. We need someone to be acting like Buhari. And for that person, you people, we have committed so much crime. You must not sack us. If you sack us, we are going to tell the whole world where Buhari is. Because something is not right, too. They kidnapped almost 400 children inside Buhari state. And I am yet to even see Buhari anywhere talking about it. By the evening or tomorrow now, they will tell you they have found the children. And then you start seeing some people going to Daura to go and pay consolation visits to consolation or facilitation visit to Buhari. So, we the Yorubas, let us begin to agree that it is time for us to leave Nigeria, okay? And if you were among those who are asking themselves that how, when, and all that, I understand your curiosity, okay? But one thing you should please admit is that if your curiosity about how we are going to survive as a country or how we are going to break away from Nigeria is simply because you know one or two people from this corrupt system, or you are a beneficiary of that corrupt system, and you are wondering, are you going to survive without what you are surviving on now in Nigeria? If you are legit, let me tell you something. You will live a better life in a country of your own without having to share in the mystery of Nigeria. The Biafrans are marching. The Yorubas are marching. So now it is better that we all do so in unison, and we should know why we are doing it. We are poorer being part of Nigeria simply because we share in the mystery of Nigeria. The mystery brought about by the northern criminals of that. What have they brought? They brought a civil war, genocide. They brought insecurity that you have today, okay? They brought coup, and that's the only thing they've brought about. For 40 years, they have been in charge. And that 40 years is just the part you shared in that Nigeria. You shared in that mystery. Now we are now sharing in the poverty capital of the world. Our sons and daughters who are graduates, who graduated, right? They are now living in the same community, in the same economy in Yoruba land that can no longer give them job. You know why? Because Nigeria is broke. And Nigeria is now poverty capital of the world. Nigerians are the most traumatized and terrorized people in Africa. The third most terrorized and traumatized people in the whole world. You know why? Because we share the same country with Northerners. I'm not saying this because I hate the North. It's because Northern Nigeria can only heal if it detaches itself from Nigeria, because they can face their own criminal leaders, political leaders. They can face them once and for all. Those leaders are those who are, what they are doing is that they are managing poverty. They are managing terrorism. They are not dealing with it. They know the core reason why terrorism is escalating in northern Nigeria. They know the reason why Nigeria is bleeding, because Nigeria is expending, borrowing money that Nigeria doesn't have to fight the war that the northern Nigeria created. And the rest of the country is sharing the burden. Okay? So if you break away and break up Nigeria, the northern Nigeria, when they have no one to share the mystery with anymore, right? They will face their leaders. They will demand for probity. They will demand for justice. They will demand for accountability. They will demand for a country that gives them peace. Dubai is a Muslim country, I would say. Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country. But look at how they live. Is that how you live in Nigeria? So when I say break up Nigeria and let the northern Nigeria deal with their problem, and the southern Nigeria will deal with the southern problem, it is just to save lives. Break up Nigeria to save life. The conspiracy is fake. And so many of us, you see, all of us that we are here today, I am just a victim that is still alive. We are all going to be victims too. As long as you continue to claim Nigeria and part of Nigeria, we are all people you love. Nigeria take away something from you. We are all victims in the waiting. And for how long do you think you and I will last before we realize that sharing this mystery with them, sharing this mystery as a country, it is not in anybody's interest? And those who are championing one Nigeria, giving different rhetoric in Yoruba land, supporting one Nigeria because of their for their own political benefits. Let's see how long that will last. Let's see how long that fortress they are building for themselves. Let's see how long that will protect them from the country they have created, from the world they have created for their people, the poverty they have shared and managed with their people. Let's see how long the fortress they are building will protect them. I'm going to go fix my audio problem with my device, and then I'm going to see you some other time. If the video is not so clear tonight, please manage the audio. I believe that is pretty much better. So thank you so much for your time tonight. Enjoy the rest of the evening. So I'm going to drop here, read a bit of a comment, listen to some of my music, and then that will be us tonight. So thank you so much for your time. Sorry. Well, I wouldn't say the picture is bad, is it? Because this is my TV, and it seems that the picture is quite not bad, is it? Let me know in the comment section how you think about the picture, the size of the picture on your screen. Let me know, okay? Maiyegun. Good night. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Thank you. See you next time. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ma wí. Good night, everyone. See you next time.